Certified podcast. So what's up, Aaron? How you been?
Doing pretty good. Today's episode 6 of the Certified Podcast.
Nice. Certified
You
podcast.
want to tell them what the Certified Podcast is about?
For sure. For sure. Let me see. Let me turn this down. Okay. And we need some music.
We don't want to get copyrighted.
Nah, we just need some like music. I think I'm not really worried about getting copyrighted, but just we need some music just to kind of keep the. I'm a music guy, dude. I like
Right.
music, but don't put no Elvis on though.
That was you.
True story. Uh, Tell them how many times you've been to Graceland.
Like 8 or 10.
Okay, so just kind of give us like dude, turn that off. Give us like uh give us a visual. Give us like a like just kind of try to share as much detail as you can about the experience at Graceland and like what's that all that about.
So for those who don't know, Graceland is Elvis's house. Elvis Presley, the singer and actor. Um, First, you go across the street and there's a museum, and that's where your tour starts.
Mhm.
So I think it's pretty common that you get a walking, like a Walkman type thing, and headphones, so you could do your walkthrough tour, self paced.
What do you mean?
So you have this little like radio thing. You have your headphones plugged in,
Huh?
and it has buttons, and you'll be in like say you're in the jungle room, which is one of the rooms. It'll be like press button 5. You press button 5, and there'll be a narrator talking
Oh,
about it.
about the room, about
Yeah,
what?
instead of having them have a tour guide with you.
Yeah. The
Um,
jungle room sounds like a freak room.
No, it was his like den. It was basically his
Oh,
like living room.
the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Guns N' Roses.
I know.
Oh. So I didn't know that. So there's like actually you get like a Walkman,
Yeah,
and then you kind of press room 5, and it kind of tells you the history of that room.
yeah,
How many rooms is there?
not sure, but you're only allowed in the first part of the house, the first level.
Yeah.
It was Elvis never let anybody go into the second story of his house.
Oh, really?
It was very closed off. It was his private area.
Yeah.
But they have like gift shops. They have a little diner. They have more restaurants in that area, all in the same building. And then they also have one of the restaurants has all like a bunch of cars in it from
Mm,
his collection.
yeah.
So
How many cars do you have?
I don't know a lot.
Really?
Yeah, and then next to that there's I think it was Lisa Marie, one of his planes.
Okay.
That recently, a few years ago, it was someone had bought it. They had sold it off.
Yeah.
I'm not. I think they left it there. I'm not sure. And then next to that is the Heartbreak Hotel, which is named after the song.
Yeah.
And then so they'll shuttle you to the actual property, and there you see the big gates that they have with the music notes on it. Very very popular site to take pictures. And on the wall, a lot of people write with Sharpie their like
Yeah.
name. I've signed it a couple times.
Nice.
And then you go into the house, big property on the hill. I believe it before it was Elvis's. He bought it from a doctor in the area.
Yeah. Did he like renovate it or what? Or like I'm pretty sure he did his own touch to it.
Yeah, the gate was music notes, stuff like that. It, there's like you walk through. There's like the living rooms in the side.
Hmm.
Staircase upstairs, which no one was allowed to go to. There's the kitchen, the jungle room, and then behind it was like a barn type area.
Yeah.
And that was actually his recording studio. So he would record there.
Yeah. So what kind of like got y'all's in like because that was a young age, right? Like your parents introduced you to Elvis or what?
Yes,
So now you're an Elvis fan.
I would say so.
You know that's pretty interesting because like most guys are not really into Elvis.
Hmm.
Younger like the younger guys, and
Yeah.
that's pretty interesting.
There was that Elvis movie recently of Austin Butler that was real
I think I've
popular.
seen that one. I'm not sure. It's pretty crazy. Is that your audio number two?
Yes.
Oh, okay, got it. Um, I don't know if you've seen that movie. It was Little Richard. No, not Little Richard. What's that one that sings? Uh, sings uh, Rudy Tooty. Rude.
Uh, not sure.
What is it? How does it go? Fruity Tooty.
Oh,
Little Richard, right?
I think so. It was Fruity Tooty.
Fruity Tooty, right?
Yeah, Little Richard.
So, have you seen? Yeah, have you seen that his documentary?
No, I didn't know
Dude,
there
like
was one.
his documentary it's crazy because like it shares like how he was such like he was such like an influence
Mm-hmm.
and that they had to develop artists like Elvis and the Beatles because the white kids were wanting to listen to the black the black music.
Yeah.
And so they came up like it's interesting because like a lot of the Beatles song and a lot of Elvis song were actually like that wasn't their original song.
Mm-hmm. Even Willie Nelson.
What's that?
The record company would have the album,
Mhm.
and they'll give it to Elvis. They'll like record this,
Yeah,
give it to the Beatles, record this, give
Yeah.
it to Willie Nelson, record this. But they won't tell the artist, hey, Elvis recorded this already.
yeah,
So Willie Nelson, some of his albums, he's like, yeah, I sang like I'll Always Love You or something like that. He was like, I didn't know Elvis recorded it. He was
Yeah.
like, nobody told me.
yeah. So I mean, I guess that was like a thing in back in the day. Like people would, I guess it's like maybe like stealing music. I'm not sure how that works, but anyway, that's pretty interesting. Uh, that's pretty cool. So, are you planning to go back to Graceland?
Maybe if I'm in Tennessee again.
Yeah. And you said it's like if you go to Tennessee, it's 2 hours out of Tennessee.
Well, it's in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So it's like out. It might be the signal.
Okay, I think we're back.
Yeah, it was the Wi-Fi.
All right, so we're back. Sorry about that. I guess we had some issues with that, but let's get into episode 6
Mm-hmm.
of the Certified Podcast. And the Certified Podcast is basically just us sharing information. If you're involved in an accident, like what to do, what not to do, what to look out for, what questions to ask. Just kind of like sharing some information on that because one thing with being in an accident is like you never really know like when you're gonna get in an accident. So a lot of people don't really like plan for an accident. And think about this. So like most people have like a daily routine, right? Like, I'm pretty sure like yourself, like you get up, you probably feed your dog,
Mm-hmm.
you maybe pack your lunch. Like like you kind of already like on this schedule where like man I got to be out the door by 7:45 because it takes me 10 minutes to get to here and
Mhm.
and there's always traffic here and then when I get to the office I'm gonna do this and then but lunchtime I'm gonna do this 11:45 we should be heading to like you
Yeah.
kind of like had that in your head, right? But whenever an accident happens, it throws all that off.
Yeah.
Like you're just like like now okay my schedule's off. What do I got to do? So now you're scrambling through through Google, through maybe coworkers, or you're just like asking friends, and everybody's saying, "Oh, you need to do this. Oh, don't do this. Or watch out for this." Or like they're giving you all this advice, right? And 9 times out of 10, the people that giving you, the people that are giving you the advice, like have no like knowledge of what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going based off something they heard,
Yeah.
right? And so what we're doing is we're just sharing things that happen, in real life situations where if we can add value and prevent, uh, less disruption down the road with your life, like, hey, we're all aboard, we're all down for that. So I know you have a series. Go ahead.
Yeah, and today we're going to be talking about routine maintenance for your vehicle, aftermarket parts, different types of parts, what the difference between them, between fitting, quality,
Yeah.
hidden damage after an accident, and natural gas power vehicles.
Okay. Okay. And so if you kind of see Aaron looking like this, like he's not titirit. You know what
Mhm.
titirit is?
Like thinking?
No.
Like you're not all there.
So, because if you're looking, you're like this.
Hmm.
People are like, man, he must be titiri. Like titiri is like titiri.
Oh,
But what he's doing, like, we actually have a board like of notes and because we're trying to stay on point, because if not, we're gonna ramble about all this random stuff and we're not gonna make any sense. You're gonna be like, these dudes are all over the place. They don't make any sense. They both sound titiri, but Aaron has notes here. So if you see us like looking up above or something, we're looking at the notes and we're just making sure that we're staying on point and not getting too much off subject. And if we don't want to take too much of your time, because if not, we'll be here all night. So go ahead, let's get started.
so let's talk about routine maintenance for your vehicle. So rust prevention would be one in this area, or
Yeah.
where they put salt on the roads, like up north.
Okay, yeah, up north, I've seen that a lot. Like, sometimes we'll get like a lot of times it happens in buses from up north.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be rusted on the bottom, but you don't see like rust like that here. What you see a lot of is from the salt water. Like
Yeah,
people that live on the island, that's really bad.
it's in the air, correct?
Yeah, like it's just like, I guess, in the morning, like the moisture.
Yeah.
It's like the salt in the moisture, and it kind of if you're it'll it eats up everything, dude. I mean, as far as like rust prevention, there's a couple of things you can do. I know they sell, it's called a rust fighter, right? And what it does, like, it comes in a spray can, and you can actually spray it like in your door jams,
Mm-hmm.
in the fenders, and basically all it is, it's like a spray grease, right? And what it does, it kind of penetrates the metal, or it kind of puts like a coating on it where it's greasy, so it doesn't allow the water to penetrate the metal, right? I know, like, there's a couple of companies that offer like some rust proofing and stuff.
Yeah.
That might not be a bad idea to look into, depending on the type of vehicle. I know a lot of dealerships now, they'll add that like an added service. But as far as like the added, so one thing about that, like, let's say you buy your Subaru, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say from the dealership you get the rust proofing, right? That might not really, like, it might not really it might not really have the warranty.
Yeah.
It's just an additive they put on there to prevent the rust. It doesn't mean it's going to stop rust, right? But one of the main things that is kind of a big deal is whenever you get windshield replacement.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you replace a windshield, depending on who does it, whenever they remove the windshield, sometimes they'll scratch the edge of the inside of the jam, right? And so whenever they scratch that, now that's unprotected metal. And so what's going to happen is eventually it's going to rust out, from the bottom up, and that's going to be the worst kind of rust. So if you're getting a windshield replaced, you want to make sure they're not using any like sharp blades or anything.
Yeah.
Because the sharp blades, what damages that edge right there. They do put like a primer on it, but the primer's not really a protective. Okay.
Is it so the adhesive could stick to it?
Yeah. So so the primer.
Are you sure that's water?
It's vodka. Vodka. Take another shot. You weren't supposed to say anything, dude. Oh, hold on. This is Tito's?
I don't know. You packed it for your meal prep, right?
Yeah. Our movies package. Let me go to I didn't know it was straight vodka. Like I was saying, like, the windshield thing. What was I saying?
About primer.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so the primer is not really protective. Okay, so like whenever something's primer, uh, that doesn't have the protective. It's okay. Primer is almost like it's almost like a liquid mud. Okay, it's not used for a finished coating. So primer is gonna absorb moisture. It's not. It doesn't have UV protective, so it's not really. It's made as an undercoat for something better, right?
Yeah.
So, um, yes, they use it for the glue, but a lot of times, if you can make sure that it's not scratched, that's actually gonna help. And maybe if you get some kind of warranty, it says, hey, if this thing rusts out, do y'all have a warranty? But the thing about it is like too, like the rust is not gonna happen till like maybe like 3 to 4 years, maybe 5 years. Until then, it's already kind of bad.
hmm
Yeah. So
Up north, during the winter when they put salt down on the
yeah.
roads, a lot of people they gotta wash the undercarriage. So they'll either have something at home like on a power washer attachment to go under and wash it, or they'll go through like car washes. And if you don't want those like brushes touching your
Yeah.
car, they have touchless car washes typically at like gas
Okay.
stations,
Yeah.
and those ones will have undercarriage as well.
The thing with so think of it like this, okay? So the more you wash it, right?
hmm
So it's stripping off any kind of protective.
Yeah.
So whenever you're washing the undercarriage, uh, maybe you're spraying like a degreaser, or you're spraying something and you're washing it, right? And it's clean.
hmm
But now it's just raw metal. So now it's gonna rust even faster because it doesn't have nothing over it. So a lot of times it's better to have like a undercoating on it or something. But I mean, you can't really like rust is gonna happen either way. I mean, you can't really
True.
stop it. You can prevent it. You can try to slow it down. But if something's rusted, it's gonna be pretty bad.
Um, Speaking of washing your car and taking protectants off, let's talk about waxing your car.
Okay.
So wax is another protectant that goes over the paint.
Yeah. So the vehicles, uh, the vehicles nowadays they have a clear coat on them, right? And
hmm
so basically the clear coat is you have it's almost like you do your nails, right?
No,
Oh,
you do, right?
I do my nails. So basically like a nail, right? They put a color and then they put like a gloss on top of it, right?
hmm
Well, the vehicle refinish is the same process. So they put the color down, right, and then they put the coating on top to protect the color. Okay, depending on the type of clear coat, some clear coats have more UV protective than others.
hmm
Okay, and so what the wax does, it acts almost as like the best way to describe it is like just imagine if you go to the beach with no suntan, I mean some sunblock on, right?
hmm
Okay, it's gonna burn the skin, right?
Yeah.
So the sunblock is this wax is the same thing as sunblock. Because whenever it gets hot, what happens with the clear coat, it kind of expands.
And the like it has like pores that open
Yeah,
up.
it kind of expands because it gets so hot,
hmm
right? And if there's nothing on it, if there's no wax on it, or there's nothing on it, what happens when it contracts, when it cools down, it grabs whatever's on the surface. So like whether it be like hard water spots or like tree sap or uh, brake dust, it's gonna grab that and it's gonna start to kind of make the paint real rough, right? You know what's crazy too is like if you have a real bad paint job, it actually affects your gas mileage because it's not like smooth.
Yeah. The
It's kind of
aerodynamic.
like, yeah, it's kind of like dragging because it's not like really smooth, so it's like slowing it down a little bit. It's pretty crazy, but um, so one thing you can do with that is like I said the last time we talked about it, McGuire sells a spray wax that's pretty simple. I don't know much about the ceramic coating, but I know they're kind of expensive and I mean, they seem like they work. I'm not
Yeah.
sure, but
I think it's more labor intensive. That's why.
yeah, I'm not too sure exactly how the science of that works. But the flash wax is gonna be fine. That's what I always suggest. I mean, and you know, I know a lot of car washes have gotten better about the brushing and stuff. There's like the touchless car washes and stuff like that. If you can get a spot free rinse,
Mm-hmm.
that also helps. The spot free rinse actually has an additive in it. I want to say it's salt pellets because there's these tanks and they put the salt pellet in there and
Mm-hmm.
it softens the water
Yeah.
like water softeners. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
is. So it's like water. There's salt pellets, right?
Uh,
Look up what's the water softeners.
yeah, I believe they're salt. Yeah, salt pellets.
Mhm.
You can even buy them at Home Depot or Tractor Supply.
Yeah. So they actually have you can't just put them in the water like the way there's like these blue tanks. They put the salt pellet and the water goes through that and then it goes in this other
Mm-hmm.
tank and that's the spot free rinse. But it's salt. It's weird, right? How
Yeah, you could even. I know people buy those and like reverse osmosis systems
yeah.
for their houses to either wash their car or for their fish tanks.
Yeah, well, because it pulls all the calcium out of it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it makes it your water basically just water,
yeah,
no
yeah,
dissolved solids.
yeah.
Um, let's talk about wipers since we were talking about windshields.
As far as what,
When to replace them?
man, I don't even know.
When you're wiping and it gets all streaky.
When it starts scratching the glass, that's probably a good sign.
Yeah.
But I
Or you can
mean,
even look at them, see if they're
yeah,
dry rotted.
yeah, those things are pretty simple to replace. Uh,
Like $40 out
I
O'Reilly's.
mean, it'll save you. It probably was a good set of wipers will save you like when it's raining from like seeing
Mm-hmm.
and probably help you like avoid getting in an accident. You
Yeah.
know, honestly, like it'll probably help you out. But the wipers are not a big deal. I mean, you can get those at O'Reilly's, at AutoZone, and now they're so easy to install. Like anybody can install those.
Yeah, but don't get it at the dealership. They're gonna upcharge you.
Yeah, yeah. I know. You can get some aftermarket, like some Rain-X or some good wipers for that as well. One thing that also like when washer fluid, you want to make sure you're using washer fluid instead of water.
Yeah.
Because the water that water has calcium in it,
Mm-hmm.
and when let's say you're driving right and it's hot and you put that water on the glass, it's gonna stain the glass. So
Yeah.
then you have these hard water spots.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know they sell like a rain neck. It wouldn't hurt to put a better car washer fluid in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of that, you don't want to just put that hard water in there. You know.
Yeah. Let's talk about tires. Knowing when to checking your tread and making sure it's not too flat.
I mean, the tire thing, like, one thing kind of that we do whenever someone gets in an accident is we always make sure that we add an alignment to it, and so a lot of times, I mean, we'll tell the insurance, hey, this vehicle, we recommend getting an alignment on it, right? And sometimes they'll deny it, sometimes they'll approve it, but we always make it a point to say, hey, we recommend this vehicle get an alignment, and I'm gonna tell you why, because now vehicles, remember the old way? I don't know if you remember, but uh, they had like a big old power steering pump that was on the frame.
I think so. Yeah. No, I had a friend that would work on old cars, and he would show me stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So okay, I'll kind of give you a lesson, right?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so the original power steering, what it was is like you had this pump. You had this it was like I guess like a pump. It wasn't really a pump. It was I guess it was a power steering pump that was mounted to the frame, right? Okay, and then you had a pump that was actually on the motor, right? So the motor would pump to this, and it had fluid, and it kind of helped the steering
Mm-hmm.
going on. And then you had these tie rods that kind of go to right and left, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what they have is a lot of the power steering is electric. So you have this one assembly it's all electric. You just plug it in, and it's like an electric power steering assembly. The thing with that is like they're so delicate. So if you get in an accident, and if it's 1 degrees off or it's a little bit off, it might drive right, but eventually what's gonna happen is it's gonna wear out your tires.
Yeah.
It's gonna wear out one of the tires because it's not perfectly straight. And so one way to tell if your alignment's off is if you're on the freeway and like you're constantly having to go like this, you're constantly having to straighten it out. That means your alignment's gonna be off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It could also mean that one of your tire pressure is low. So like for example, if you have 60 pounds of pressure on this side and you have 50 on this side, it's gonna pull to your left because this tire is lower. So I know you can go to like discount and they can check your pressure real quick, but if you're having to constantly like pull, that means your alignment's off, and it's gonna be cheaper to go get an alignment than having to buy tires because tires. I mean, we buy tires all the time for vehicles, and like, you're gonna spend. I mean, like, there's no cheap tires anymore. Like, the cheapest tire you could probably get is like $200, And so, but that's just for one tire. You're still screwed because, let's just say your wheel alignment's off, right? Okay, the wheel alignment is probably gonna be about $89 to get done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you kind of say, nah, I'm not gonna get it done right now. I'll wait, right? And so now what happens is one of your tires is bald. Okay, now that tire has a flat, so now you have to buy a tire.
Yeah.
So now you have to buy a tire, it's $200. Okay, but now it's only one tire, so now this tire is new and this one's old.
Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing again.
Yeah, so now you got to say, okay, now I'm going to save up and I'm going to buy a tire for this side. And so you're playing this game of like having to buy one tire. And so your car is never going to be, fully balanced, right? If you can't afford to buy all the tires at one time, you're better off just buying 2 tires and putting them on the front and put the front ones on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of, when you buy 2 more tires, put them on the front and put the front ones on the back. That's how you want to rotate it. But yeah, so to the tire thing, I mean, always check the alignment. Get the alignment done. It wouldn't hurt.
Next up, we got different types of parts and which is the best. So there's aftermarket, LKQ, OEM, and recycled.
So we have So we talked about this a while back too about the insurance wanting to use aftermarket parts for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not so much a bad thing when it's like a high end vehicle, right? Or if there's a big difference in the quality of it, right? You might be able to get away with maybe a fender, maybe a hood, but I mean they're aftermarket, so like it's not gonna be. I mean it's like let me see, it's like let me give you an example. Okay, I'll give you an example, right? So you bought some new headphones, right?
Yes.
What kind are they?
Sony.
Okay, so you bought the Sony headphones. Those are right.
Yes.
And so I'm pretty sure they sell replicas.
Yeah.
Right. So the replica, it's gonna look the same. It's gonna but it's not gonna be the same.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some difference to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the same thing with aftermarket. Like that's exactly the same thing. They're replicas of the original thing. Okay, and so it really comes down to the repair center, the shop, that business, like really fighting to get those parts. Either price matching or just a lot of times what we have to do is let's just say there's aftermarket parts on a vehicle. Well, and we know they're not going to fit right. We actually have to get them in, try them on the vehicle. If they don't fit, then we'll send the insurance company pictures of them not fitting right, and then they'll approve that the OEM parts, right? But a lot of people think that just because they tell the insurance, I want new parts on my car, they're going to give them new parts. That's not the case. One thing that I can suggest is like prior to, like even now might even be the good time. Ask your agent, says, hey, if I get in an accident, what kind of parts are gonna use, right? Uh, you might want to start asking more questions now, because I want to say you can get an upgrade where they put OEM parts. Maybe you pay a little bit more. I want to say State Farm does that. I'm not too sure, but it's something you might want to look into, especially if you have a newer vehicle and you don't want aftermarket parts. One thing that's really kind of messed up is like, let's just say if you have a 2022 BMW, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and some idiot runs a light and hits you. Okay, he has insurance. Okay, his insurance is fixing your car. Okay, but his insurance is gonna put aftermarket parts on your car. Like you get screwed,
Yeah.
because you're like, dude, what the heck happened? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so it really comes down to the shop, to that business saying, hey, you know what, like we need to make sure that we can get as much OEM parts, factory parts as possible for this dude's car, because this is a BMW.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's messed up. Like this dude like just got hit out like he wasn't doing nothing. They hit his car. Now they put him in this situation. You know, like I mean, for example, if someone hits your Subaru, like you don't want to have all these aftermarket bootleg
Yeah.
parts on there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a good vehicle. Like it's gonna like you plan to have that for, for your kids.
Yeah.
All along.
Subaru's never died.
Has a million miles on it. You're like, yeah, just bought new tires for it. But you know what's cool is like a lot of people don't know this, but you can actually file a diminished value claim. You know, a diminished value claim is you actually file another claim against the insurance. Says, hey, I want to file a diminished value claim, and basically what they're doing is saying, okay, you know what, because your vehicle wasn't an accident, it actually lost value, and so we're going to compensate you for that balance, right? So.
Yeah.
We don't handle diminished value claims. That's the responsibility of the customer. Like if they pursue that and they kind of go down that road with the insurance company. But I always tell people, man, fight it, dude. Like just fight it and see what you're gonna get, man. And because you are entitled to some kind of reimbursement for them messing up your ride. You know.
Yeah, and then talk about LKQ parts and recycled. I know that recycled, they take them reused parts.
Mm.
I know the issue of that, they could be bad parts. I know we had
So
a company deliver one recently.
yeah, it's LKQ, right? That's like it's let me see how can I how can I how can I describe say what that is? Um, I'm trying to give you like an example where you can who
Huh? Bruh.
Dude, what the- anyway, LKQ and used parts are the same thing. It's like kind quality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like kind quality, right? Like, it's just the wording they use to kind of, because like, okay, if they give you an estimate, okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario,
Mhm.
right? Close your eyes, vision.
Huh?
Close your eyes, like vision.
Right.
Like, imagine, close your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Close. You not close your eyes. Like close them like you're gonna make a wish
gonna
for your
fuck with
birthday. I'm not gonna fuck with you. Like just close your.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, you don't have to close your eyes, but okay, let's just say, okay, um, you got in an accident, right? And
Yeah.
so you get an estimate back from the insurance company, and it says used door, used fender, used, right?
Yeah.
You can be like, I don't want to use this used stuff in my car.
Mm-hmm.
So what they do is they put LKQ,
Yeah.
like kind quality, right? So they're basically like not they're trying to manipulate they're trying to trick what you're reading, and so if you don't know what that is, you're like, oh, the new fender, new door, right? But they're actually used parts. So uh, I always would say I would rather use used parts than aftermarket parts. You know, because a lot of times, I mean, the used parts are gonna be their factory parts.
Yeah.
You know, versus a used part. I mean, versus an aftermarket part, they're gonna fit a lot better. And so that's just the way the insurance is, dude. I mean, that's why it's so important, man, to have a repair center, like a shop, a business that you work with that can communicate this stuff to you and like kind of just say, hey, we got your back, we'll take care of it for you, you know. But it's pretty much all the same. LKQ, used parts, that's the same. Aftermarket is gonna be, you know, of course, aftermarket parts. You know what I mean? And so whenever the insurance companies, one thing that we do, right, whenever we have to use aftermarket parts, because we do have to use those sometimes. I mean, the insurance, like there's some insurance companies that are like, no, like that's all we're gonna be able to pay for. Like that's all that we're authorized to use aftermarket. We're gonna use aftermarket.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay. So one thing that we do is we kind of make sure that we get some kind of warranty even on those parts. You know, so the vendors that we use, we make sure when those parts come in, we inspect them. We have a paper trail, so if something was damaged, we'll exchange it out. Uh, and so we make sure we're not just buying them from anywhere. You know, that's the thing. Like a lot of other shops and businesses, they're buying them from like eBay or whatever. You know, the black market, the black net, right? What is it called?
Dark web.
Dark web. They're buying them from the dark web. And so it's fun, dude. You know what's so funny? Like, uh, people, people like, so let's say for example, there's a bumper, right? And the bumper, the insurance is saying we're gonna give you $250 for the bumper, right?
Yeah.
Are we out of focus?
Yeah.
And
It just went out of focus.
and does it have autofocus,
Yes.
dude, bro?
Huh? Huh?
Dude, it went into focus.
Huh?
Is it focus now?
Yeah, focus, man. Got it. Good job. Good job. So, what was I saying, dude? Let me see. What were we talking about?
Like used parts.
No. Okay, the bumper thing. I'll tell you the
Yeah.
bumper story. So like we've had some customers like they'll be like, yeah, I got the estimates from the insurance and you know they gave me $200 for the bumper, but I found one online for $59, right? And dude, they'll get the bumper, but it's rolled up. Like,
I know what you mean. I've seen TikToks of people order like parts like that, and they'll get the bumper, and they're like, "There's supposed to be a bumper, but the box is about like
yeah,
a square."
they roll up the bumper and it's like,
And then the seller will be like, "Oh, just leave it out in the sun for like 2 days."
yeah, dude. So, uh, so you can't put that bumper on the car. It's a mess, dude. It's aftermarket. It's cheap. It's junk. So I mean, I don't, and also too, like a lot of we'll get customers who says, hey, you know, I got in an accident and I wanted to see if I can buy the parts and take the parts. You know, we don't do that because like, you're buying the parts from all these random sources, and a lot of times it's hard to return it. So for example, if you buy a headlight, let's say the headlight's $500, right, and you find it on this website for $150, right? You go and buy it, right? It comes in UPS or whatever, FedEx, right? They leave it at your door. Maybe it's damaged,
Yeah.
right? So now you're calling, okay, I got this damaged light. I need to return it. Well, did you sign for it? You know, how do you know? How do we know that you didn't break it, drop it? Well, you know, I didn't. You know, okay, well, you have to send it in, and we'll see if we can approve it. But like, it's just now you're like spending a week or two trying to figure out how you're gonna return this light. Okay, you pay for shipping. If we, you know, like
Yeah.
it's a mess, dude. So like, that's why I tell customers like, dude, just let us get the parts. That way we know they're good when they come in. If they're not right, we'll send them back. Um, you don't have to mess with that whole mess.
Let's talk about hidden damage after an accident. So say somebody they got hit.
Yeah.
Um, they think they know what's going on. They see like a fender all busted up, and then you guys go look at it and you see a little bit more damage, and then you take it off. You start disassembling it.
Yeah.
And is it common to find more damage after that process?
So usually what we'll do is like we have a step. It's called the blueprint process,
Mm-hmm.
and basically like you seen CSI, right, Miami?
Yes, where
Right.
they document the crime scene.
Yeah. So like they have like these little things and like they're taking photos, right? So we do like something very similar, right? It's not as cool as CSI, and we don't have that crazy like the electronic like wall where we're going like this, right? But we do what we do is we take everything apart and then we try to find any additional damage, right? And a lot of times it's going to be like maybe some plastics broken. A lot of the newer vehicles are a lot of them are plastic now. So like for example, you have the plastic radiator support. The radiator support is the piece in the front that holds the headlights on, it holds the radiator, holds the condenser, right? A lot of times those are plastic. Okay, a lot of times those crack. A lot of times they're fiberglass. On the Fords, they're aluminum, so they crack real easy.
Yeah.
And so those will crack real easy. Uh, you'll see sometimes on the radiator, like if it was a front end hit, on the bottom of the radiator they have like these little like tabs where they sit in place. Well, if the radiator shifts, they break off, and so now the guides are broken on the bottom. Uh, sometimes, so on a vehicle, you have, let's say we're in the vehicle, right? So you have in the very front, you have a AC condenser.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a condenser, you have the radiator, and then you have the fan.
Yeah.
So the radiator is not in the very front. It's going to be the condenser, and that controls the AC. You have the radiator to the middle, and then you have the electric fans in the back, right? And what it does, it actually sucks. It sucks
Yeah.
in because it's pulling the air, right? Okay. Sometimes in front of that, you'll have like a transmission cooler, or you'll have an oil cooler. It's a long one in the front. So you'll have the oil cooler, the condenser, the radiator. You have all these components, right? On a lot of new vehicles too, they have it's called a front shutter that goes in front of everything. And so what it does, like whenever you get on the highway, it actually opens up or it closes, like to bring better
Yeah.
airflow, right? A lot of the Dodges have that. They're called shutters. Jeeps have that. The Fords have that. Pretty much a lot of vehicles have that now. Uh, so you're gonna get some damage, dude, because like either the shutter's gonna be damaged, the oil cooler, the condenser's gonna be damaged. Maybe even the radiator, depending. You know what I mean? But all we do is we go in there and we document it, and we put an estimate together for the insurance company, and we submit that additional. We says, hey, we found this additional damage, and we send them an estimate with an image report, and then sometimes they approve some stuff, sometimes they don't, and sometimes we have to send it again. You know, maybe they didn't see it, the angle of the photo that wasn't right, or we didn't label it right.
Yeah.
So we'll keep sending it till we actually get what we need.
Mm-hmm.
And so that alone is just a process, but that's key because uh, because we don't have a lot of time on these vehicles. Like the thing is, like someone gets in an accident, right? Okay, let's just say, for example, okay, they brought a van in, right, the other day, right? They brought it in, I think, last week, right? Okay, so the tow company came and just dropped it off, right? We didn't even know it was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they dropped it off. Then the insurance calls, hey, we're calling to see if y'all got that vehicle. It was a van, right? And I'm like, well, we didn't get a van. They're like, yeah, it should have been there yesterday. And I was like, we haven't got no van. And so I'm like, well, let me go check outside again, right? Sure enough, it was across the street. And I was like, yeah, you know what? They actually left it across the street, and there's no license plate on it, so we didn't know like whose or what it was, right? And so, okay, so we lost a day there, right? Okay, then we got to see, okay, we got to contact the insurance company. Says, okay, do y'all have a preliminary estimate? A preliminary estimate is basically like a rough estimate of what the damage is going to cost, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll be like, yeah, let me send that over. So they'll send that over. Then what we got to do is we got to create a file for that job. So it takes us, a day or two to create the file, get the photos. It's almost like someone's gonna go into operation.
Yeah.
Like you don't just walk into a hospital and like go straight to the emergency room.
Hmm.
Like you have to sit down. Let's get your information. Let's make a file for you. Let's kind of like
Check you out.
check you out, get your vital signs. Are you in a Medicaid? Like what's let's paint the whole picture here.
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing with the auto accident. Okay, where was it hit at? Is there engine lights on? Are the seatbelts locked up? Right? Uh, is it gonna need suspension damage? So now we're kind of like trying to put, is this part of the damage? It was hit on the side, but there's damage in the front. Is that part of the damage? So we're trying to kind of like put all these pieces together so that we have a good idea of what we're dealing with, right? So that alone takes a couple of days. Okay, then we have to say, okay, let's take everything apart and find the additional damage. What to make sure that we have an accurate estimate.
Hmm.
So we're already into it like a week and a half, 2 weeks. So that's 2 weeks into it. We send that off to the insurance company. It takes them 48, maybe a week, depending on who gets the assignment
Yeah.
to reply back to us. And so that's already 3 weeks. Let's say we get the approval. Now we got to order parts. The parts take a week. We're 4 weeks in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most people have 30-day rental. And if their car was towed in, that probably means it wasn't drivable. So they could have been in a rental a week before.
Yeah.
So they already lost a week. So now we're already at 30 days and we haven't even started the vehicle.
Hmm.
So one thing about the rental thing is like the rental is not even the rental time is not even associated with the damage. That's a whole different thing. You just have 30-day rental coverage. That doesn't say like, okay, this repair is gonna have to be done in 30 days because that's not the case. Like it has nothing to do with the repairs or anything. You know what I mean? They can do it like an estimate time of repair, but uh, there's no telling like if we're gonna have back order parts or they're gonna come in damaged. I mean, like for example, that Dodge Ram we had, dude. Like it took them 6 months. It seems like 6 months to get the bedside panel in because they were
Yeah.
back ordered. And when we got it in, they're like, yeah, I can get one out of Dallas. And then the next day he calls, he's like, dude, they don't have it. It was an error. And I'm like, okay, well, how long is it gonna take? I'm not sure. What do you mean you're not sure? I don't know. It doesn't give me no ETA on it. So what does that mean? He's like, I just have to check every day to see if we find one.
Yeah.
So like that situation was like, dude, like, so there's things that happen, but the point you're trying to make, hidden damage, yes, the majority of vehicles are gonna have hidden damage. That's why it's always better to make a claim versus having someone pay out of pocket.
Yeah.
We see that a lot where customers come in, they're like, hey, someone hit my car. They want to pay out of pocket. I'm trying to get an estimate, and it never works out the way they think. You know what I mean? Because there's always going to be additional damage. You can't really estimate a vehicle until you really get into it and know all the damage. So, what I always recommend is like if you get in an accident, like make a report, make a police report. Go through the steps as if you're going to make a claim,
Yeah.
but maybe you're not going to make a claim when that person's insured, but at least have that information in case you need it. If they agree to pay out of pocket, say, okay, I'll let you pay out of pocket, but let me get all the information anyway, just in case we have to go this route. So you have a backup,
Yeah.
So that's what I always say about hidden damage is like, there's always going to be hidden damage no matter what.
I think we should get into our news segment now.
What do you got?
Huh?
Um.
Huh?
Where'd you get that from?
What do you mean?
Who?
Huh?
Where'd you get that from?
TikTok. You haven't seen that cat?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you gotta look it up after.
Okay, go for it. What do we have?
Bruh.
Red Lobster is closing lost restaurants. They it was rumored like about a week ago that they filed for bankruptcy.
Really? The
And-
one here too?
No, not the one here. I was about to get into that.
Oh.
So it's been rumored that they filed for bankruptcy, and on Sunday the company released a statement saying that they did file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Um, It's been about a week since 87 of the stores have been on their website temporary closed. However, there's an auction website that said, "Hey, Red Lobster says it's temporary closed, but on our website there's 48 stores that are auctioning off their kitchen equipment."
What?
So they're like, either they're renovating or they're shutting them down for good.
Yeah.
And it turns out most of them are being shut down for good.
Yeah.
The company in their statement said that they want to close it down and just focus on more, like, focus on fewer restaurants and make those ones better.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Man, Red Lobster was a thing back in the day.
Yeah.
I think what's going on is like there's so many like I think social media kind of helped too, like with restaurants,
hmm
because like if we go out of town or something, like we'll go like to TikTok and say like restaurants in San Antonio,
where
restaurants
did
in
Keith
Dallas,
Lee eat at?
huh?
Where did Keith Lee eat at?
Keith Lee, he's like a food guy, right? Or
Yeah.
something? Yeah. Where is he from? He's from Dallas.
No, he's from Vegas.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought he was from Dallas.
I think he did like a tour of a part of the U.S. where he
Yeah.
went to different cities.
Oh, okay, okay. So, I mean, Red Lobster's kind of play. I mean, I don't know, man.
I think a lot of those sit down fast casual restaurants are dying out.
And you know what's interesting? Because the other, like, we're coming back from the beach, and I was like, man, I want to go to Red Lobster. I think I've been to Red Lobster one time.
I used to go a lot in Georgia.
Damn, you balling like that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Your parent got money like that.
Yeah. So
Your parent got money like that.
in
What would you get at Red Lobster?
snow crab legs.
Dang, dog.
Right, they were having endless shrimp recently. I don't know if you saw that, but the one in Corpus is good.
Take
There's
me to Red Lobster,
I don't know about that.
bro.
I think it's 24 states that they
We
have
should.
locations
You know what we should do? On our next podcast 7, we'll order Red Lobster.
We'll also order some local seafood and compare it.
We'll just go get Red Lobster. We'll just kind of like see what it's about.
All right.
We'll Uber they're gonna have to get access in because of the security, but
Yeah.
just give them a heads up.
We got the guard dogs watching.
Yeah, so they'll have to get the pass to come up, and then they'll have to get the code to come to the penthouse. But we could probably put in the notes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dallas, there's 2 locations closing. Houston, there's 1. Lake Jackson, Longview, Lufkin, Pasadena, and Tyler.
Damn.
Those are the ones in Texas that are closing, but there's 23 other states that have locations
Yeah.
closing. A lot of them are in Florida, but that's because that's where the company's located.
Okay.
So they had a lot of locations out there. So they're
Yeah, well, there's a lot of competition in Florida. You go to like,
and they're located in Orlando too, their headquarters. So over there, with all the
yeah, you know what?
tourists-
Like, if you like, you go to Florida, like you'll find like a nice, like they're being like extra out there.
yeah,
Like with the restaurants, like they want to make sure like the food's on point. So like, I mean, Red Lobster. I mean, I haven't been to Red Lobster enough to talk about the food, but I would think it's like, is it like is it like a Chili's? Like not, I'm not saying like
I would say more like Texas Roadhouse, but underwater.
what do you mean? No, but
Like,
I'm saying
like
I'm
that
say-
level.
I'm saying for example, if you go to Chili's, you're gonna order something off the menu, so it's not.
Yeah, it's just
It's already like prepared,
yeah, it's all a
prepared.
chain restaurant.
Yeah, chain restaurant kind of structure,
yeah,
right?
Their menu hasn't really changed that.
Yeah.
much.
So like, it's not they don't have like these chefs or like in the kitchen like really making sure the food's on point. So it's like really just
Yeah.
okay, got it. I still want to try it though. I'm down to try it.
Speaking of restaurants, was that Whataburger that's rumored to be put up off of Saratoga and Crosstown?
Yeah, so Saratoga and Crosstown, there was some storages there, and they tore all those down, right? So I want to say like, you didn't find anything. You should have been able to find something on that.
No, I couldn't figure out where to look for the city plans at.
Yeah. So I remember a while back we were looking at a building out there, and I want to say, dude, like they had a Whataburger logo in that corner, but this was like a couple, maybe like 2 years ago, and it makes sense because look, dude, like they're making London out there, right? They're growing all London. They're putting up houses like crazy. They're said to like open up that Greenwood. You know how Greenwood goes. I don't know if you've gone all the way down Greenwood, but
Yeah.
past Saratoga, it goes to a dead end.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at an area map, like that road will actually connect to London, like
Mhm.
by the school. So I want to say that there's plans of like them opening that up, but I'm just it's gonna be pretty cool, dude, to see the growth of that and to see kind of how all that area grow. Cause we're right there. We're right there on Greenwood and Saratoga.
So it's
So
gonna mess up your diet.
nah, I probably won't mess up my diet. I don't. Whataburger's good. Like, what do you get from Whataburger?
Chicken strips.
That's it. That's what the kids eat.
Yeah, I don't eat red meat, so
What?
Huh?
or maybe the water chicken sandwich.
You got to get the at least the Whataburger with bacon and jalapenos and cheese,
Or
right?
a patty melt.
I never tried the patty melt.
Apparently they're good.
You know what one was pretty good for a while? That A1 one.
Oh, the A1, it was like steakhouse burger or something.
Yeah, that one was pretty good with no onions. But I'm not really like a big like
Fast food guy.
nah like I tear up some fast food, but I'm not too big like on the those sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not the patty melt and like all this. Like I'll just go get a Whataburger with extra jalapenos and bacon and cheese, toasted buns.
Hmm.
Like I'm good with that. You know what I mean? But I mean, I can't do like that buffalo chicken sandwich and all that.
You can't.
Nah, I mean, I don't know. Just like I don't know. I'm just like a hamburger dude. The grilled chicken's good.
Yeah, I typically like the fried chicken, but yeah, grilled chicken's not bad.
I used to. You know what I used to do? I used to get the grilled chicken sandwich, but with the double patty.
Hmm.
It's like extra like
Yeah, extra protein.
Yeah, but I stopped getting Whataburger. They're good though.
Yeah.
Speaking of real estate, right?
Our sponsor for today.
Our sponsor, give them a shout out. Can you bring her
Yeah.
information up?
Yeah, have it all right here. I
Well, can
Our-
you share like her? This is gonna be awesome, dude.
think I can't. So our sponsor for today is the Kim Erwin team of Keller Williams Coastal Bend. Should be able to just pull this Google
Pull that
right
up.
here.
Oh, it wouldn't bring in the fake. Oh, so you're sharing your screen.
Yeah, so they
Oh,
should see this
nice.
right here.
Go to your history.
This isn't it.
Oh, dude, you can't.
No,
Oh,
it's
there it
right
is,
here.
right there. Yeah,
Scrolling over.
nice.
So their Facebook and
Hold on. Nice.
her
So
information.
so
right
hold
here.
on. Let me kind of so Kim and her team like if like like I wouldn't like hype someone up if I didn't work with them before. I didn't do business with them. Like Kim and her team like there's some rock stars over there. Like they get shit done. Like if you're looking for a property, if you're looking to list your property, uh I mean they have a good system. They have a good flow. Uh, Kim like she's been doing this for years. Like how many years of experience she has?
40.
She has 40 years in her
Over.
now her over 40 years plus her team. I mean that's a lot of knowledge and that's a lot of just information and plus like it's kind of like getting in an accident. Like you don't want to go into trying to buy a house with no one that doesn't like with an amateur.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like she's a pro at this. Like she knows what she's doing. She knows what the, you know, how to negotiate the deal for you or whatever you're trying to do. Like she's on top of it. So like, big shout out to Kim Erwin and her team at the Keller Williams. She does a lot of stuff in the island. Like if you're looking to buy a condo, anything on the island, she's your should I say gal? Is that how you talk about it? Like gal? Like well, I'm gonna say girl, but
I don't. Virginia's technically still the South.
so gal.
I
That
guess.
she's your gal. Does that sound funny?
A little. Don't try and force it.
Big shout out to Kim. I mean, she's doing some amazing things in the coastal bend. Like I said, she's been around for years now, and she's credible. She's an awesome person. She has a big passion for helping people. Her and her daughter now are doing big things together. If you go on Facebook and you search Kim Erwin, you're gonna see like her, and you're gonna see like all the properties she has listed. And I probably can guarantee you, like if you're looking at a house on Zillow, it's probably listed by her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so reach out to Kim and have her find your next house, or have her list your next house. And people are saying, oh, now's not the time to buy. Nah, nah, nah. Like, man, you know what? Like if it makes sense, like buy it. You know what I mean? If it makes sense, buy it, because you know what? Like, think about this. So a lot of people are like waiting till interest rates go down, right? But what's gonna happen when interest rates go down? Housing prices are gonna go up.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't make sense. So probably what you can do now is you can get with Kim and says, hey Kim, I want to get into a house. I know the interest rates are going to be a little bit higher right now because the rates are high, but let's see if we can negotiate at a good price. It's been on the market for a while. Negotiate at a good price. Have it for a couple of years when the interest rates, when it correct.
Yeah.
Refinance it. Boom. You just got it. Like, you just win. So Kim's going to be the one to hook you up with that. Like, you should call her to buy your little condo on the beach.
I don't know about all the.
Yeah, get a boat, dude. Shoot.
I wouldn't be here, but I'll be fishing.
I can see
all
like
day.
in a year or two, I'm hitting the gym. We've been hitting the gym hard. You're gonna be flexing out, and then you're gonna have to get a boat. You have to get a condo, like laying out.
If I'm on the island, I'm not leaving the island.
You'll be laying out in a Speedo.
No, that's you.
Huh?
Who?
Bruh.
Real. Once again, big shout out to Kim. I mean, she's doing some amazing things. She's actually, and I'm not like, just because she's helping us with the show, like she's sponsoring the show this week. Like, it's not why I'm just like, giving her so much credit. Like we've done business with Kim, and like I've even told her like at closing, I was like, Kim, like your team is on point. Like I've worked with a lot of people, and like you had this sit down, like you know what I mean. And I was like, how do you do this? How do you do this? And I was just kind of curious to how her team is good, because like they get shit done. I mean, they they get shit done. So reach out to Kim for your next real estate deal. You're either gonna buy, you're gonna sell. She'll get you set up. We're fuzzy.
Should be good now.
There you go. So you keep moving too much. That's what it is. So you gotta stay like straight. So speaking of working out, the Crunch Gym on Saratoga, the freaking showers are closed.
Yeah.
And so we go work out during lunch.
When we come back all smelly.
Yeah, and so we're like, damn. So they said they're gonna be out for like a week or two. So if you're trying to go to the gym on Crunch on Staples, the men's, they're remodeling I think the men's and women's locker rooms.
I believe so.
So you're gonna have some difficulties there, if especially you have to go back to work or something. So
plan that out.
Just a heads up on that. What else we got, man? What else we got?
Last week we talked about electric vehicles.
Okay.
Alternative to gas.
You're going over your time, buddy. This is overtime. This is overtime.
Yeah, that's good. Last week
I have to charge you extra. Go ahead. You
Um,
a Red Bull or nothing, dude.
Yeah, I got you.
I got your. I know what you're doing.
What?
You have vodka and then you take the Red Bull. So you drink the vodka and then you sip this. Damn, got you.
Vodka Red Bull. That's what they're called.
Dude, you got, and man, you're a little sneaker. Okay.
You're the one with the whiskey in the fridge. So everybody knows about electric vehicles pretty much, that they're an alternative to gasoline.
Yeah.
And then there's diesel. There's also
Diesel.
Huh?
Shack diesel. There's also natural gas powered cars.
Yeah.
I know a lot of cities, their transit systems will use them.
Huh?
The transit systems for like bus.
Oh, okay.
Like metro buses and stuff. A lot of them will use it.
I thought you said transits are busting.
No. I think you have worked on a few. Have you, or you just know about them?
I mean, so the thing with the natural gas, like a lot of the city vehicles are natural gas now. Uh, and there and so we don't really like uh we don't work like we don't fix them. Like we
Yeah.
don't fix the natural gas stuff. That's all like mechanical stuff. But I mean, I don't think it's like it trended like it thought it was.
Um, there's about 175,000 natural gas powered vehicles in the U.S.
Mhm.
About 2 million worldwide. So it's not a lot, but there's still some out there.
I think is it like what kind of vehicle is it?
They
Because
could be
I
they could be anything from like pickup trucks to
yeah,
like
but I mean,
buses.
like let's say like okay, so let's just say like who's gonna buy a natural gas? Like
Not a civilian. It's gonna be
yeah, it's
companies.
gonna be a company, right? Yeah, okay, that's what I was saying. Like who the hell's gonna like a soccer mom's not gonna be driving a natural gas car. Like where's she gonna get gas? Like where's she gonna get fuel from?
Yeah, they
Where?
it's gonna be the company that has a
Oh
station
yeah,
there.
yeah. Okay, so I know the city has one on airs.
hmm for those that don't know how it works, it's pretty similar to a normal gasoline car.
Mhm.
So they'll have a tank in the back that they fill up, and then that'll get compressed and pushed to like the injectors.
Yeah, yeah.
And it'll eject into the engine. Spark. They have spark plugs. They'll combust.
Oh, it's a different. Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of does the same thing as regular gasoline, but it's natural gas.
Wonder if it. I wonder if like it lasts longer.
I'm not sure about that. I know that their exhaust is different though. They have like a 3 system exhaust.
Hmm. What do you know about uh this is a trivia question. Serious though. What do you know about have you seen the movie Back to the Future?
Yes.
They put the banana in there
Yes.
for fuel. Is that true?
No.
Okay. Just wondering.
There's people that convert their I think they're diesel
Diesel?
vehicles. They'll put like oil in there from like a restaurant.
Dude, if you've been to Graceland 10 times, you gotta say diesel like with the South. Like diesel. Try it.
Diesel.
Diesel. That's it.
Diesel.
Diesel.
Memphis got a different accent out
Does
there.
it? What's their accent?
A lot of rappers are out from Memphis. That's why.
Say it.
I don't even know.
But like try it.
No, I seriously don't
Say
know.
diesel, but like a Memphis.
I don't know what they. I don't know what their
I don't,
dialect.
so
is,
I don't know. So like you say that.
I guess.
So okay, so natural gas is I wonder how efficient it is. I don't know. I don't know. I think
I don't see it being the future.
yeah, yeah. I don't, and a lot, dude. A lot of it is like okay. For example, like we've done some city vehicles that have natural. So a natural gas tank takes up about half of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a tank in the back of the bed.
Yeah, it's
that-
not. It doesn't go where the normal gas.
Yeah. So
gasoline
the
thing.
tank is in the back of the bed, and it's probably like let's say it goes from the bottom of the bed. So it's probably like about let's say 10 inches by no maybe bigger maybe like maybe 20 inches by maybe 20 by 20. So this it's a box that goes in the back, and so this box is like anchored down, okay? And then you have pressure lines that go from that tank to the motor, like everything's pressure right. You
Mhm.
can't just remove it. Like you have to I guess uh maybe kind of vacuum the gas out, and then you got to take the lines off, and then when you put the lines back, you got to probably use Teflon. Like it's like a big deal. Like you can't just like take it off and put it back on. So like a lot of times, whenever the city trucks they get in accidents and they are natural gas, we have to leave that tank on there. We can't take it off because it's just too. It's like it's a whole different thing. And then also too like if the vehicle is older, those bolts and those fittings they get real like they're kind of surface rust or so I don't see it the future.
Also, like you said, with the bed, I know statistically a lot of Americans with pickup trucks don't use their bed,
Yeah.
but taking up, I don't know, like 40%, 50% of the bed, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it will, and that's why I guess too. Like it's gonna be commercial use. If
Yeah.
they're not really utilizing the bed, or they're not like, I don't know. I don't see. I don't see it.
I think next week we might talk about hydrogen vehicles.
Hydrogen? Is that like
That's out in California.
oh
So California is moving away from gasoline vehicles.
yeah.
So they're going to be focusing on electric and hydrogen powered. And we'll have more details about that next week.
Yeah. Sweet. What else we got?
That's it for today. Like you said, we're going overtime.
OT.
All right.
OT. Woo, woo. Do the go woo woo.
Woo, woo.
Woo, woo. So once again, hey, big shout out to our sponsor this week, Kim Erwin with Keller Williams, the Keller. Give her a shout out, show her some love.
Yeah, the
Sweet,
Keller
some
Williams
love.
team of Coastal Bend.
What's her number?
It was right here.
Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Go like her Facebook. What we'll do is we'll actually put her link in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
But that's her number there, the 361-688-9509.
address too,
And that's her website there, kimerwin.com. Reach out to her, like, just, if you're looking for a property.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're not ready to buy, like, just to say, you want to buy in the next year or so, reach out, says, hey, I want to potentially buy a property in the next year or so. Can you direct me to a lender that can kind of get me set up to be in position to buy a house,
Yeah, like you said, her and her team both, they all have a lot of experience.
Yeah, they have a lot of experience, and also they have a lot of resources. So like I always say, okay, look, if you're wanting to buy a house in the next 6 months or a year, get with an agent, says, hey, what lender would you recommend that I go talk to get in position to go buy a house? So now you have the lender, you have the agent, all working for you. And you know what the cool thing about it is? So if you're going to buy a house, you're going to go buy the house, right? Who pays the agent?
Is it the customer or
Who pays it?
the lender, the bank?
I don't know.
I never bought a house.
Okay, so look, check this out. So let's say you want to buy a house next year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you call Kim. Do you want to role play?
Sure. So you're Kim.
Yes.
So hey, I'm
No,
interested.
but do the ring.
Ring, 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 ring.
No, but like an iPhone ring.
I don't know.
But I have ringtone in my, because I'm Kim and I have a ringtone.
Mm-hmm.
It's let me see what ringtone. Tutti Frutti on Rudy. So I'm driving, right?
Uh-huh.
You're gonna call me, like, you're Aaron. I'm Kim.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna act like you're calling me, and I'm gonna like.
Dun, 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 dun.
But you have to do the ring, like Tutti Frutti.
That's your ringtone.
Yeah, I know, but do it that way. Never mind. Look, what I'm trying to get at, the point I'm trying to make is like, okay, let's just say you want to buy a house in the next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You call Kim and says, hey, Kim, I'm looking to buy a house. Who do you suggest I go? Who's your preferred lender, right? Oh, go talk to this person, right? Okay, you go talk to them, right? They say, okay, they kind of say, okay, what do you want to qualify for? What are you trying to do? You're like, oh, it's just me by myself, but I want to have family, or whatever, right? They kind of get your paperwork together. Say, okay, you know what, you got to improve in these areas, and you'll be approved for this amount, right? So now you're pre-approved to go buy a house. So they say, okay, Aaron, you know what, you're approved to go buy a house for $200,000. Okay, and you call Kim, hey Kim, I'm ready to buy. Okay, she's like, hey, what are you approved for? What price range? You're like, I want to buy it from 180 to 200,000. Okay, she has a database. So she has a database, dude. She can like she'll pull a bunch of properties. Okay, I got these, 200 properties, and these following your criteria. You want this, So she starts to put this filter up, right? And so she's like, okay, Aaron, I have these 10 houses. We'll go look at them and decide what you want. You find a house you want. She makes the offer for you. Hey, Aaron, they accepted the offer. Closing, the seller of the property pays the agent. So she just worked for, like, she's doing the job for you. Like, you're not even paying her. Like, the seller's paying for her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to have an agent. Whether you're buying or even if you're selling. Like, an agent, having a good agent too is going to help you when you're selling. It doesn't matter if you're having to pay her, because there's a lot that goes into selling a property that if you have a busy schedule, you're not going to want to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so having a team, that's why it says Kim Erwin team,
Yeah.
because it doesn't say Kim Erwin. You don't want to work with one agent. Like, you want to work with a team, because now you have all these resources, all these people helping you sell your house, buy a house, or whatever. Like, so reach out to Kim, 361-688-9509. Go to her Facebook and show her some love. And like I said, we'll also put her details in the comments. I mean, in the description, that we can reach out to her if you're in looking to buy a house, sell your house, or whatever the case may be. So once again, thanks for watching. We're a certified podcast, and we're here every Tuesday. And give us some feedback. Let us know what you think of the show.
Any questions?
Yeah, give us some questions, some ideas. If there was a topic that we spoke about that showed some interest, show us some love, and share with someone that might benefit from this information. Because look, like I said, no one knows when they're gonna get in an accident. So like it could be think about this, like it can be someone that has kids, it can be someone that has a job that have a lot of responsibilities. Having the information is going to be key to getting the process done a lot faster. And then, I would say, like, the certified team, reach out to us if we can help with anything.
Yeah, and our numbers is on the screen.
Yeah, our number's right here. Look,
you don't have to call. You could text if you want.
yeah, so this right here is our text line. So you could text this, and you can basically put, hey, I'm looking to get an estimate done. I'm looking to schedule something to whatever. And more likely, what will happen is we'll send you a link to book an appointment, or we'll look to get some more information. So, like, give us a call if we can help.
All right.
The Certified Podcast, we're out.